Hi, my name's Ashton. Welcome to Pocket Theology. Pocket Theology discusses pocket-sized portions of various biblical topics. Each episode is designed to engage you, the listener, toward a deeper understanding and appreciation for God's Word. From doctrinal discussion to studying the theological themes of various biblical passages, join me, your pocket theologian, in discovering the practical side of theology. What if you only had today what you took time to thank God for yesterday? This is a question I first heard as a young Christian, and I am reminded of it from time to time when I consider my present state of thankfulness. I think most people would agree that there are many things to be grateful for. However, it seems most Christians I know struggle to get specific when it comes to thanking the Lord for what He has provided. Psalm 107, verse 1 says, "O give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, for His loving kindness is everlasting." This psalm is just one of many passages that call for followers of the Lord to give thanks to God for one reason or another. We can thank God for His faithfulness, love, steadfastness, and the list goes on. But the question I have to ask is, why don't we? It seems that as life progresses, we become mundane in our living, and so even our gratefulness for all that the Lord has done becomes dull. Oftentimes, we stop thanking the Lord altogether, and we become expectant that things will progress as they are because they happen to be that way. This way of thinking causes us to forget how blessed we truly are. I myself was reminded of this principle recently during the aftermath of Hurricane Milton that came through Central Florida. My family, among many in our immediate area, spent many days without power, hot water, and the ability to do simple things like laundry. When we went without, it was very easy to see how much we rely on things like electricity. However, I cannot think of the last time I thanked God that the power station ran effectively that day. Instead, I took for granted these many blessings that God had provided. Even in the days following the hurricane, it is very natural to want to thank every lineman I come into contact with as they put in hundreds of hours to get people's power back on after storms. But where was my thanks before the storm? As you go through the rest of the week, I want to challenge you to consider the things you would not readily go without. Now, ask yourself when the last time was that you thanked God for His provision of these specific things. As our nation heads into the heat of another election year, it is very easy to join in on the complaining whether you lean one way politically or the other. There is no shortage of people who can complain. However, as Christians, I want to challenge you as I need to even challenge myself to find ways to thank God. It does not have to be complicated and drawn out. But if God has blessed you in a specific way, why not take the time to thank Him specifically for that thing? I think the world is in desperate need of the love Christ has to offer. I believe one of the best ways to show this love is by living thankful for it every day.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Pocket Theology. If you like what you heard, you can subscribe to keep up with the show. We greatly appreciate the support you give by listening. If you think more people should hear this podcast, consider leaving a 5-star review. If you have a question for Ashton or an idea you would like to hear on the show, you can email him directly at AskPocketTheology@gmail.com. Ashton is a passionate student and teacher of God's Word. He has a Bachelor of Science in Biblical Studies from Moody Bible Institute.